Greetings, everyone. Good time zone to you. Welcome. We're going to jump into a Midnight Hunt draft again, Premier again. I've put it to a vote, but Premier is fairly well crushed best of three all week long here to open the first full week of Innistrad drafting. And here we are, not even at the end of the first full week of Innistrad drafting, and I'm already worried. I'm already dreading the feeling like I need to be blue-black or regret not being blue-black or, be mad at what I'm passing, but also not wanting to just play nothing but blue-black and be boring that way. I also was thinking about a tough problem that we didn't really even, honestly, we didn't talk too much about during my time at Wizards, and I'm wondering if formats like this are exacerbating this problem. And what I'm thinking of is the fact that certainly maybe they've changed it. I can't imagine they would, though, and that is pairings by rank in draft pods. They don't do that. They just take the first, you kind of basically take the first 8 that you can get, because queue times are really important in digital games. If you're going to make your players wait to play, that becomes a critical countdown, how long you're making your players wait to play. That's why matchmaking can be pretty rough, because when the matchmaking, it feels like it's taking a long time, or isn't. If the matchmaking doesn't feel good, it's because the matchmaking was trying to get you to play faster. They're willing to sacrifice quality of matchmaking for speed at which you are paired, right? So you can't, it's already a huge ask to ask people to wait for 7 other people to be ready to do the draft portion. I mean, that's why Arena started out without all human drafting. It started out as bots only, because part of the philosophy was, well, we don't want people to wait in these queues for pairing players. So let's just get them for making a pod. Let's get the pod going. So then they introduced all human drafting. And what happens now, though, here's what I'm afraid of. And those of you who are drafting the high levels versus low levels, maybe you can give me some anecdotal evidence or data on this. But let's say you've got a couple of bronze drafters who don't know what's up, and a diamond plus drafter who knows what's up, and then a handful of people in the middle. And if every draft pod has a broad range of skill level in the pod, then the top players who know that blue-black is the place to be are going to lean into it, get into blue-black way more often than your pair of bronze players who don't even know what's up, right? So then your top players in every pod are going to gravitate towards blue-black, and then the pairings in best of one pair based on rank. So all of these higher level players who are more likely to be blue-black are then going to be paired against each other in the matchmaking, leading to a lot more blue-black mirror matches at the highest levels of play than you would expect from a full sampling of who's playing what out there. And of course, you could make pod creation ranked. You could say, we're going to wait and get platinum plus drafters for this pod, and we're going to get weight, and we're going to get gold and lower drafters for this pod. You could do that, but we go back to the whole making your players wait thing. It's already a real weight challenge, especially you get into like traditional and stuff, although traditionals aren't ranked, so it's not really a concern there. But even if you're best of one, if you're going to split your audience and start to subdivide, you got this pool of players that you're using to fill your hopper, hopper of players filling your pods. If you split it, you got 2 half-full hoppers filling 2 different pods, right? And that's effectively going to double the wait time on firing drafts. And that kind of time doubling is just pretty unacceptable. That's why I say this is a tough problem. And It's only a problem, though, if a set is so imbalanced that it becomes a game of, do you know the trick or not? Do you know the secret of this format or not? And because both Forgotten Realms and now Midnight Hunt both feel like there would be a best deck like that, now there's this secret strategy to win. I'm worried about both of that. Worried about that for this set and the previous set from a Wizard standpoint. So anyway, it's a consequence of lack of balance in a ranked play, but not ranked draft pod situation that I was pondering last night. And I really don't have a great solution. It's pretty darn unacceptable to add that kind of wait time, to double your wait time in the draft queue. So it's not a simple solution, but I thought I'd call it out as a real problem that Wizards has to deal with. You have no problem at all if you need tabletop Magic cards, because if you need those, you just check out my sponsor, cardkingdom.com. You use my affiliate links to let them know you got there from here, and that helps keep me on the air. Thank you so much for all of you who do that. I appreciate it. Oh, we got Oni in the pod. You gotta tell me what you love before you leave, Oni. What are you gonna draft? Actually, where is he? Let's see. Basically across the table from us. We're not gonna be super impacted. Yeah, this is, well, there's the Heirloom Mirror, which I think, and the Awakener. These are both great cards, and I think I'm probably starting with the Mirror. There's Defend. What fight card are we talking about? What fight card you're talking about? Oh, this one. Yeah, I'd rather take the black card. This is a little slow, but when it gets going, it's good. But yeah, Awakener might just be better. Should I take the Awakener? All right, I'll take the Awakener. I know the Awakener is good. The Mirror has beaten me several times. That's why I was leaning towards it, but I feel you. The Awakener is just great. And I felt like it was the best card there outside of maybe that green card, but black's the better color, so we'll take a toe dip here. Now there's not much in the black-blue camp that I'm interested in here. Yeah, the first pack was pretty mediocre too, honestly, taking an Awakener first. Delver is more build around. It's hard to build around this. I've lost to it, and yes, but you really, if you get it on one and build around it, it's fine. But it's not a great top deck, and it's tough to build around. Flame Caller. Is there Sanctifier? You mean Elementalist? Yeah, we could take this, and I'm just trying to avoid red, but it's probably the best card here, and it's the only red card, so I'll take it. I didn't like, these packs have been, 2 packs in, they've been pretty weak. This is pretty weak too. Some Curse, these are never good, except maybe the blue one sometimes. Yeah, I think that's unplayable. A couple of white-blue cards here. We could take the Graphkeeper, and maybe we wheel the Mending if nobody's in the colors. If we don't take that, what are we doing? A really marginal black card. A Wolf is okay. At least it's a 2-drop. Yeah, black-white is reasonable. I don't think I want to just take a Morning Patrol, though. You like Outlaw Cut Black? It's just such a weak card, and I don't know if it, I'd rather hedge. I've experienced this as a weak card, I should say. And Barrage 2, I'll play one, but it's a little too narrow for here. I'm just going to hedge. Blue-white's fine. If the table wants to give us this deck, I'll take it. And then it also gives us a reason to take some blue cards like the Revenge here and figure out where we are. But Defenestrate is solid. I mean, sometimes you really want to kill a flyer. Revenge interacts with everything in a card neutral way, like you're not down a card for the bounce because they draw again, or it effectively is removal, right? If they bounce to the bottom, you've effectively killed the thing. yeah, I just think this is a little bit more flexible in the format. I thought I would love this card a lot more than this at the start of the format, but this just misses on enough things that I'd rather just have the universal interaction. I've tried to give Ominous Roost a chance in a couple of decks, and it didn't really land. It did some work in the decks, you know, in these blue-white decks that are heavy disturb. I did get some tokens going that felt worth it. You know, like once you get your third bird, you're like, okay. And if you're pumping your birds, but it is not super powerful. We have the Elementalist. We could just take a burn or a Flame Channeler even. Certainly, I think we have a Silversmith, though. So, like, it's really, to me, the Silversmith or the Channeler. We could take the lesser respected color and see if being in it is helpful. But I think I'm going to go for the Silversmith. Silversmith is best card. We're still trying to figure out our colors, so I'm just going to take best card. And Silversmith could go with the Black Awakener or the two blue cards, and we end up in white-blue. And now we have a bunch of, again, playable but nothing exciting. All the Esper cards here are playable but not exciting. So then the question is, yeah, I'm going to avoid the red, probably just the Trapper. One of these has been very nice to have in a white deck. Two can get awkward. But yeah, this is a cool card. But I just feel like with blue, you're hoping to draw cards with Organ Hoarders and other, you know, and by casting creatures twice as opposed to just actually casting card draw spells or casting Search Party Captains, right? Second, Flame Channeler. So if we'd gone down the blue-red path, there's an interesting deck there, but I'm not unhappy to see to see all three of these here in this pack. But Search Party Captain has been excellent. And it's Angler. Both of these are kind of 2-for-1s. I mean, this does do the thing more, but I have a hard time passing these captains. I think they're great. And a pick 8 Mending says we might be on our way here. Found our lane. Also, Amalgam and Geist Wave, both fine, like both quite good in this type of deck. Amalgam putting some disturb cards in the graveyard. Oh yeah, maybe this isn't the. I was thinking this was better than it is. I think you're right. Sorry, I was thinking this was straight card draw, but it's not. Right. So I'm gonna take the first Geist Wave. Geist Wave in these Disturb decks is really interesting because you cast your Disturb side, you've cast this card for the second time, you Geist Wave it back to your hand, draw a card, and then recast it on the front side. Oh, really? You thought you like that? I don't know. Yeah, it's true. I guess you're discarding value, but we might get another one coming up here anyway. Cathar's Sanctifier. I don't know what the right card is here. I guess. What did it have us take? Sorry, I kind of missed that pick. This still feels terrible to me, but there's some blue cards. We'll take Cover Up. You like Secrets? Media likes this too. I haven't seen that card work. Maybe I'm not, but here's your chance to show me how the Mending works. We did wheel that. So good news, our lane's open. A lot of 4-drops, except this isn't a 4-drop here. This is a 3-drop. And this we're not playing. So. And this is a maybe. Well, I think that's the joke, right? Red is faithless, but white-blue is faithful. Well, for a white-blue pack, this is crappy. Probably just even want an Angler. I guess maybe an Amalgam, but we probably wheel this. We probably wheel both of these. Probably wheel all 3 of these. I'm just going to take the Angler. 2-drop, you know, when in doubt, take the cheap one. I like the Candle Trap, but not there. We'll get him cheaper. And with nothing else to do, I guess we are going to see if we can make these mendings sing. Griff is not fine. I mean, you're right that it's fine, but it's not fine for pick 2. Although we're going to wheel the mending. I mean, you're right. Like, I think once again, I think we're going to get both the mending and the Griff out of this pack regardless. You think Larder Zombies is great? Yeah, I guess this could do the thing in this deck, but this is another one that we can probably get on the wheel. Yeah, like Horde and go to the black deck. Nah. I'm gonna stick with this plan, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the mending. I don't care about a 5-drop, whatever. We'll get as many of those as we want. We won't get as many of these as we want. I'm gonna take a Organ Hoarder. We'll get as many of them as we want, and I don't know if we want any. We'll see. Meantime, these picks are pretty easy when the Hoarders are coming through. And not the best deck for a Survivor. The better deck is when you're black and sacrificing stuff. So if we were white-black, I think the pick would be the Survivor. But in this deck, I think, yeah, we want the Gale Drifter. Although I'm also looking at... No, I'm not taking any black cards. We're going to be white, blue, and that's fine. Even if you could convince me that statistically pivoting to the black-blue would be correct, just from an entertainment standpoint, personal entertainment standpoint, I'm going to focus on the blue-green, the blue-white. So, Flare of Faith, generally decent in this deck. It's got a lot of humans on one side, spirits on the other. We'll take it. Here's another one of those we could take, but I'd rather have the activated flying, so to speak. And, but let's see this. Really? You think this does work? All right. Chat likes the veteran. I have generally laughed at this card and have not found it good. Yeah, well, this is where we're all experiencing different things in the format, because for me, this veteran has been a joke. People play it, and I just crush it. But it's early. Could just be the perspective I have so far. Yeah, I took another angler, but eventually those shipwrecks become interesting. I just think we want to get them super late. And this did come back. That zombie came back as well, but we'll take the flyer. What else does it do? Yeah, exiling, that's getting to be better than I'm, I'll take more anglers over this kind of ramp for stuff. I'd rather just have the angler. Yeah, the 3s are pretty empty. We'll consider that in our next pack. Like, we don't even want to play this one. We're effectively 2s and 4s right now. Give me Geruda or whatever. Oh, that just went by me. I suppose we could... This is like the deck that I would consider playing that trick in. But we'll get another copy of that trick if we want it, I'm sure. Here's another veteran that we can wheel, and you all can show me how wrong I am about it. Yeah, I'm on Falcon. No, I won't take it. I don't care how good you say this is. F this card. I don't like it yet. I must be wrong, because all of chat's telling me it's good, and I believe chat that I must be wrong about this card. But right now, I don't like this card. Maybe at the end of this draft, I'll see. But I don't like this card, and I'm going to take the card I know is very good. Farmhand is awesome. But we also have this rare. So we'll take the rare. I mean, its top mode is good, and its next mode, the flashback mode is excellent, but it's card draw. I mean, this is card draw too. Well, let's try it. Let's experiment with rares. Farmhand's great. I saw Farmhand first and was super happy with the pack because we were going to get a Farmhand out of it. Let's see. Sanctifier for 3s and actually filling... Like, this is another a card that I barely see, but I acknowledge that this is the right deck for it. And also to acknowledge Rob, the black has really kind of been flowing since pack 1. If we had banked into black, we'd be fine as well. But I don't mind that we're off the beaten path today slightly. Not that... I mean, we're still in Esper colors. You like the Consider? I wonder if we wheel that. Commando for a 2. We are in 2s and 4s again. I mean, I could take the Ritual Guardian just because it's a 3, but that seems silly. Yeah, I think... Question is, do we want the Meighdium removal or move all in on our plan? I feel like we need some interaction, though. We don't have much. I'm going to finally take a Candle Trap here. Got an Angler and this Survivor. I'll take the Survivor now. Over the Angler. None of this matters too much, but a second wave might play, so we'll take that. Ritual of Hope doesn't seem that good to me. It just feels like... Oh, sorry, this is a different... I should read the card, Krauser. We'll take the Geist Wave, but thanks for having me actually read this. This is a card I didn't real... Ritual of Hope... Oh, you exist. Okay. Like, Ritual of Hope is the card that I've been looking for in a lot of my Go Wide token decks that I didn't even know existed. Maybe I've passed a bunch thinking it was something else. I thought it was the uncommon that's like, if you're behind on life, gain some life. If you're behind on creatures, get some creatures. I thought it was that one. Here's some more interaction, but I'm going to take the Commando, even though it continues our crazy icicles. Here's a 3. There's another Faithful Mending. We got 2 of those, though. But we're taking the Captain for sure. It's basically a 3-drop here. Another Vet. It came back as I figured it would, because it sucks and you're all wrong. I know more than any of you about how this format works with my 4 drafts. Well, Tron agrees with me, at least. Here's this Blessed Defiance that we could try, but I also feel like is whatever. I'm going to take an Observer. I think I'd play one of these. At least we got cuts to make. The Consider even came back, if we want to consider the Consider. And here's another 3. Commando, though, we do have the 1. I really am digging the Naturalize effect on the Commando, though. So I'm going to take it. Even though there's a 3-drop we could consider. And here's the Secrets. That's, I guess I'll take this card I think of as weak over the other one that I think of as weak. Well, it's to say more about it than just this sucks or whatever. You know, my concern about the card, as it is with all life gain, is that life gain often doesn't matter. We might win with 40 life. We might lose after they controlled the board so hard that we lose despite the fact that we were at 40 life. The times that gaining a little bit of life buys you the time to win a game that you would have lost, that happens, and that's why we like incidental life gain. But it's not like the main result when you gain some life. Mostly slightly adjusted life totals. Most games of Magic, if you had someone roll a d6 and add or subtract 6 life, 1 to 6 life from each player's starting life total, it'd be interesting. I mean, it does matter. I'm not saying it doesn't matter at all, but it doesn't matter that much. Like, you're going to get a lot of the same results out of both players starting at 20 versus both players starting at somewhere between 15 and 25. And so given that life gain sometimes just doesn't matter at all, and often doesn't matter at all. Let's say we're in one of those spots where life gain is not mattering this game. If life gain doesn't matter this game, now read this card. 1 mana, 1/1. Disturb, 1 and a white. Make a 1/1 flyer. It's not nothing, but I don't think that's a card. I don't think that's quite a card, even though it's 2 cards, because Doom Traveler has had some, and I'll give you that as well. Like, I mean, we're kind of doing the thing. I'm going to give it a try. We're going to give it a try, but I'm just trying to, rather than just comically and, in a intentionally dramatic way dump on the card as chat is loving it, I'm going to at least explain like where my reticence comes from. But also acknowledge, and yeah, like you say, oh well, the what is it? Doom Traveler was good in Innistrad. Well, what was its job there, and does this have a similar job here? I just want to know what the job of this card is. That's the tough part for me, and I'm going to cut one of them for sure. I'll give you the one as a test, but I'm gonna not play both. Krauser looking to join D in the corner. I'm going to reject that. I'm going to cut the Griff I didn't like. Let's see, we're at 2011. Yeah, we don't have Ecstatic Awakener, and we don't have Sifters. So yeah, we're gonna leave one in, and I'm not saying it's not. I was jokingly dumping on it before. I'm not saying it's unplayably awful. I'm saying I'm lower on it than chat seems to be, and I gave my reasons why. And now we'll see if this format has enough value generation, even in a deck like this, for this. This is where Faithful Mending, we pitch it, and then I don't mind, right? Like if we use this so that this is effectively a free card off of our self mill, okay. I'm going to cut that. Consider for sure. Secrets, was it Meighdium who was saying Secrets was good in blue-white? Well, Meighdium and I see this game very differently, so it won't surprise me if I'm disagreeing with Meighdium, but let's see. Yeah, it is an instant, it's true. But we also have to... We can go down on a land, go to 16 lands here, and then going down a land is okay with with 2 captains and a top curve that tops at 5. And yeah, I was hovering over the cover up. Often, like we like a lot of the things in our graveyard because they get value there. I think we can cut the cover up. I think that's true. You don't like this? Yeah. It's not just because we go to 16 lands doesn't mean we never find 7 mana in a late game for flashback. I'll have making Meidia pitch a fit, so maybe we'll do it. There's so much we got. Look at all this card draw we've got. We don't need 17 lands. Secrets is on my list. Yeah, let's cut that. And let's see, we got some creature. Yeah, I'll splash. Gale Drifter is 2 on plan, although I don't know how much of our plan is really this. This is really the 4-drop we can cut. I don't like this much. It's best of 1. Definitely best of 1. Amalgam is pretty nice, though. Could cut Observer. But Observer helps justify 16. Why is it... Oh, Meidia, you're such a smart player, and I'm trying to... I really am trying to learn from your perspective, but your takes are so extreme, it's hard for me, because you're calling this trash. It's a 3/6 for 5 that self-mills in a deck that takes advantage of self-milling, that has flashback and disturb all over the place, and it activates for unblockability. Like, I don't know how you call this trash. Like, that's can you I know that I get the luxury of just being able to talk, so I get to use all these words, and Meidia is trying to express opinions in short chat text, so I get it. But I really want to understand a little more nuance from your perspective that this is trash, because your opinion that this is trash seems like trash to me. So I want you to explain yourself, or stop calling cards that clearly do a ton of stuff and have good stats as trash. So Hat is somewhat answering for Meidia, or you know, that it's just five drops that die to single removal spells are just generally weak in the format, and I can feel you there. But this doesn't do nothing. I mean, this might enter and draw us a bunch of cards. Well, draw us some cards. Well, how about this? I'll cut the 5, and then you can leave me alone on 16. Topping at 4, even with mana sinks, with 2 search party captains is fine, and 2 faithful mendings, it's fine to be at 16. And best of 1. It's all those factors. So that leaves me with 1 more cut. Maybe a wave or a flare, like we could cut a flare. Well, Faithful Mending just seems kind of bad in general. Maybe I cut one of these until we figure out if it's good enough here. Oh, come on, Meidia. I'm seriously like, I respect your opinions and want to understand them. I just don't understand, you know, why you're so, like, we've got, I mean, you're worried about being at 16, but like, I'm justifying it with best of 1, 2 search party captains, and 2 organ hoarders. Like, and Memory Deluge, we're going to get the card. We're going to, in Faithful Mending, like, we're fine at 16. So I'm sorry if you're feeling that I'm being disrespectful. I know that I'm the one saying sharp words with the mic, and everybody else has to communicate with text. And I sometimes my tone can slip away from respectful, and I don't want that to hit anybody the wrong way, especially Meighdium, who's earnestly offering interesting opinions on the format that are so contrary to mine that I find them very valuable. So I just want you to, I hope you hear that, Meighdium. And let's see, what's our final cut, though? Maybe we'll cut one of these mendings. Let's do that. Because I'm questionable on this card and questionable on this card, so I'll cut them to one each. And we'll call this deck Meighdium Rare, because this is a medium rare. Nyx lands for Krauser. If I were to go 17, I'd probably cut like a Flare of the Faith here. So if if we get mana screwed and are staring at a Flare of the Faith, that'll be my Meighdium nod, at least on the land front. I mean, I don't know how good this deck is or how we're going to do with it. I feel like so lost in this format in terms of that, which is why, again, I am trying to be a listener on some level to chat, as chat collectively has a lot more experience of the format than I do. All right, what do you think? How are we going to do here? All right, we'll keep this. We're gonna try the mending on turn 2. Search Party Captain is a bummer that we don't have we have all these 2-drops that can attack, but none of them here. Now this is where, like, for this to feel like I'm getting the appropriate value out of it, we need to find some graveyard value. If we're just spending a card to draw and discard 2, we're down a card. So I hope we end up a card in the graveyard, but I'm also not going to not cast it just because we don't have something like that in our hand. We gotta, if we're going to put this spell in our deck, we got to cast it. And with 2 Search Party Captains, I'm going to ditch a Plains. And also we have no, we have no real top end here. So I'm going to go Plains and then either probably Sanctifier or Abomination, because we're going to play one of these and then start running these other ones out. And I want to keep our interaction. Although we could ditch this. Like, let's see, we're at 3-2, 2-2. Doesn't look like we're going to be at Coven for a while. So, Coven is tempting me. Krauser just has this easy Sanctifier. I got to decide, though, here. So I'll go with Krauser's line before I have my choices made for me. I like an Abomination here. Then we get cheap Captain next turn. And at least with the leftover mana, we can Candle Trap, potentially. Oh yeah, double captain. Never mind. We'll just attack with the zombie. Good call. Especially, like I would have seen that, especially with no blockers. If they had a blocker, we have to question whether that's worth it. But without a blocker, it's totally the plan. Yep, yep. Love these captains. This is why I didn't pass any that I saw once we were clearly white. And it's also, again, why I was willing to go to 16 lands. It's part of our deck card flow that is justifying, in my opinion, the somewhat risky mana base. 5 total mana here. We can just cast our card draw instant. Probably just want to send in and offer the team, though. I could Candle Trap, but I don't care. I'm fine with these trading off and then just reloading. Let's do that. I don't even need to drown. I think we just, I think we send all, we trade flyers, and that's fine. And then with Oppo stuck on 3, we try to get ahead with the a big influx of cards. Oppo found a 4th land and made the best of it with an Organ Hoarder. It's about the best you could hope for in their spot. Now we can trap the Hoarder so that our captains can still attack. But we might have new plans after we fire this thing off. So we'll take the vet, although we put the vet in the yard and get the value out of it, but with all this land, of course, we're just going to take 2 non-lands and pitch the lands. Well, 1 non-land and 1 island. I mean, we've got 3 lands. At least it was nice to get that stuff out of the way, and we're almost get that flashback level. I mean, we have the lands for flashback, so there you go. Oh, they don't go to the yard. Sorry, I was thinking of this. So it didn't matter anyway. Bottom. Read the card, Ryan. It's a rare. First time. Now, let's see. We've got... I don't want to revenge the Hoarder. That gives too much value. But we can go ahead and do the Candle Trap on the Hoarder so we can keep attacking at least. So we're going to at least do that. And pile on. And this in the yard means they might be gonna, you know, if they're playing black, they may play a swamp and get it back and recast it, showing the power of the deck, the blue-black deck. But now we've got some plays. I can even play a veteran, and then we have Commando Activate, Revenge, or Faithful. We have all these instants available to us, so let's just do that. And let's see if this veteran feels worth it. This is one of the cards that sparked a lot of debate. I'm not sold on it. A lot of people in chat think this is amazing, well, or at least good to great is the kind of the tone I was getting from chat about this card. Nothing we can do about that anyway. Might revenge it, although revenging it lets him flip it back to the front side. So maybe just mending here. Yeah, let's do that. That's true, but we can also bounce it when we untap. I like mending here. Yeah, Plains and Angler are the easy pitches. even though Plains does allow us to cast this, we'll eventually find our 7th land. We don't need it to cast that next turn anyway. Flare of Faith could have been our 7th land here, but I actually like it as a combat trick now. And we can Survivor and make it look like that's the plan. And then surprise him with the trick. I like that. Sweet, sweet life gain. Could have just accepted that death and gotten some extra damage in, but you know me, I'm going to control the board when generally given the chance. Ooh, that's just... Oh, it's a zombie that's no longer decayed because that's what the monster did. But we're going to bounce the monster, then it becomes decayed again, right? And then we just get in for lethal? Sounds good. Just a data point, but the veteran was bad this game. The veteran did nothing particularly good for us. A bear, like basically my fundamental question for this card as I'm assessing it after a game in which we played it is like, would I have rather just had a grizzly bear in my colors? And the answer here was yeah, I'd rather have just had a 2/2 for 2. Pablo, come on now, be intellectually honest. I said up front, this is one data point of how it did this game, but in this game, it was not good for us. It was, and very specifically, this is why I want to making the point about the bear. It's because every question about should I play this comes down to over what, right? Over what? So I'm going to say that what I'm comparing it to is not was it good when top decked on turn 8. I'm saying is it better than something we generally don't try not to play, which is a 2/2 for 2. Right? So if it's not better than a 2/2 for 2 in a given game, that's a data point worth calling out. And I'll call out the opposites as well. The times where the life gain mattered, the 2 creatures mattered, the flying matters, all that can happen. It did not happen there. I didn't say it was bad, or I say it was not very impactful. I mean, if you're, again, this is why it's a framing against a 2/2 for 2. Compared to a 2/2 for 2, it was bad that game. Right? Would you agree? Another chance. Here, is it better than a bear? Let's find out. We get to play it on 1, first of all. That's no joke. We don't have blue yet. Do we even keep this? That's another question. Double Geist Wave, not necessarily amazing here. We got 8 sources of blue. Yeah, this doesn't quite feel good enough to keep. I'm going to throw this back. It's close, though. Yeah, if it had better cards instead of something like the stupid 1/1, maybe that would have been keepable. I'm just trolling now. All right, we're going to keep this and ditch the blue card in case we don't... you're going to mull this too? Nah, baby, we got to keep this. We're not going to 5. By binning the blue 2-drop, we're going to guarantee ourselves an island. Promise you an island off the top. Oh, is blue. Promises, you know. Naturalist. All right, well, at least we get some value if the werewolf deck goes for the flip. And if it does, we still get a nice attack into a 3/3, and we get to captain. Yeah, being part of a curve out that makes our captains extra cheap is a plus for the 1-drop over a bear. Agreed. Flare of Faith. We could save our Sanctifier, which they're obviously going to throw the wolf in front of, but since we don't have a land, we are pretty much priced into attack with Sanctifier, trade for wolf, and captain here. It's not the play I'm looking for, but we also don't want to just pass and give them midnight. We're going to make them make it midnight. Mike says just pass, but I really would like to try and play a land this turn, Mike. If we pass to get that, we're playing our 4th land on turn 5, we hope. I'm going to give up the Sanctifier for the wolf in the search for a land. This is all about the land. And maybe they don't block. I don't know. Hey, that's fantastic. I did not expect that, but I'll take it. Look at that. There's our land. Although, to be fair, if we don't draw another land, there's not too much difference between passing and holding up Flare of Faith and then drawing the island and playing our 4 as it is to just play our 4, draw the land a turn early, and then play it. And now we have the obvious... there's no way there's not a trick here, but of course we're going to trade Search Party Captain for a trick from Oppo's hand. If they don't have a trick, then Oppo's not playing very well. I mean, this is just as telegraphed a trick as it gets. All right, so now we can play the Angler and have the Flare up. That seems interesting. Angler can get, as a human, can become a 5/4 and handle all of this. Well, I like Lunar Frenzy. I mean, red is underperformed, and it's a high risk. It's still if you're casting this into a ton of open mana, you're hot under the collar. Not hot under the collar. You're nervous, little. But boy, it's a powerful finisher. Yeah, Silversmith is a play too. I kind of somehow glossed over that, but I was thinking because I wanted Silversmith on the Gale Drifter when we eventually do that. I'm gonna stick with my Angler line because it might produce a Naturalist attack that we can flare. It's risky. Oppo still has a lot of cards, a lot of instant speed stuff, including in red, so I could expose myself to Flare getting blown out. But the fail case is a Disturb card going to the graveyard, so it's not even a full 2-for-1, so I'm going to risk it. And if they don't attack, I mean, because right now this just trade, like if they don't have a trick, they're not attacking with a Naturalist into an Angler. So yeah, I was acting as though the Angler would be eaten without a trick, but it might just hold off Oppo's army all by its lonesome, which would be quite welcome. Yeah, how about that? I like it. Although at that point, I mean, I guess if I could play I could have played a more expensive spell and had the same effect, I guess. But ooh, one of them into graveyard. We will put the island and keep the Organ Hoarder. Oh yeah, thanks. I've been missing these day-night flips here. So, a lot of options. Well, there's really 4. We're not going to cast either of these, so it's a question of what we're looking for. I can Hoarder, looking for land or action. I still like holding the Silversmith until the things shake out a little more. If we had drawn a land, we could 2-spell and make it daytime again. But they didn't attack into... Like, it seems like they don't have tricks, so as long as we can put 3 power out, we're threatening pretty nicely. So I'm going to put another 3 power out in the Organ Hoarder. That's true, Mike. Mike likes getting to 3-4 against this. I was just in the mindset of, well, I'm just going to trade for it and be happy with that. I'm going to take Trapper here and put the Disturb card in the yard. And do I want to offer on the front side? I mean, I could send the Sanctifier, but nah, we'll say no tax and keep it all back for blocks here. Try to win in the air over as the game progresses here. Got 3 flyers waiting and Smith to make them bigger. Flare to protect them. Trapper to keep us alive. Well, we have a lot of mana sinks. Maybe we should play more than 16 lands in this deck. Interesting. Kind of like trading for everything here. Throw a Sanctifier and double block. I don't mind just trading when we're playing a deck that's going to out advantage them. This is why this deck is not great. It doesn't win attrition wars. We're going to win attrition wars, so I'm going to throw blocks. Yeah, it could be Lightning Bolt. Again, if it's a, quote, blowout, it's not going to be that bad. I mean, we would have to worry somewhat about the Reavers, but we have the Trapper, so I'm going to make him have it. I think that's great for us. And we could daytime it with a Commando and a Trapper, but I like Trapper Keeper, right? Trapper Keeper gets us the 2-spell without giving up the flash. You could also go Trapper Abomination, but Trapper Keeper just flows. I mean, so does Keeper, right? Gets us in the air for 3 as opposed to 2. Right. I mean, how can I not execute a play that produces a legit verbal result of Trapper Keeper? It's impossible not to make that play. If it's wrong, I don't want to be right. Search Party Captain will be a nice cheap option. Let's send the flyer. We got to watch our life total. They've got a big team over here. But we've got... We can also, yeah, tap and flash in Commando for blocks. So probably just do that. It does switch it to nighttime, though. Do we want to make it night? We can just play the Angler to have a block. Commando main phase... Yeah, we could main phase Commando, but then we don't ambush them. Like, I was hoping to Commando block Naturalist. You know, that's the type of play I was hoping to do. Yeah, we can do Captain for land as well. Captain and pray for land. Well, what's our failsafe? If we play this and we miss, we do have some good blocks and knight doesn't shift. So yeah, let's do that. I'll do that. Although we've milled a lot of lands and binned a lot of lands, so I don't know if we'll find it. Oh. It's a little greedy, but I like the block we have with it, so it's fine. Yeah, I mean, this gets through, that's true. But this doesn't. We'll trade there. We're at there. This is fine. Yeah, sorry. Thanks for the reminder.
He's right. Ain't no rules that the dogs can't play basketball.
And of course...
Not only am I your ship's captain, I am also your party captain. Woo! We're gonna get it going here in just a few minutes.
I'm your party captain too. And
I mean, they're trading real cards for cantrips. You know, that's just tough to get there in the end. Now we'll go do the main phase commando play so that we have blocks on the sentry and taps on something. You know, we tap one, block the other. It's already night anyway. We can wait since it's night, right? Let's try and get them. Yeah, we don't need an angler now though, Mike, right? Because now they've already made it night. So since it's night anyway, if we're not going to two-spell, let's surprise them. We get to tap the sentry. It looks like we're just trying to save the most damage, and then we get to flash in 3 power to threaten the Wolf Lord. Or threaten to win the game, you know? Just flare untap. Oh, indestructible. I should read. I like this. This is fine. This frames the turn in a way that at least encourages the attack. So we traded for the enchantment instead of the wolf. That's too bad, but now we can revenge it. That seems fine. And let's see, except we can't do that and tap. Maybe we go... Angler, give us a tap, and then we can tap the sentry and chump with the angler. That gives us no damage while we still attack, and potentially then we can Flare of Faith for the win, getting 3 this turn and Flare plus Depart for 5 next turn. So I'm going to go with that. I'm just going to go for the win. I mean, they don't seem to have the answer for that, Mike. Do you not like my plan to win with it? I mean, we just need to chump and then win. We die to another frenzy. Yeah, often there are cards that you die to, but you gotta make your plays. And I'm gonna tap the 4-2, chump the 5-5, and try to win target game. We'd absolutely still lose. I mean, another one of these, right? As called out, but we have a line. We're going to try it. Technically don't even need to block here, but I don't want to lose to like a bolt or whatever. Although if they have a bolt, I mean, they had to have just drawn it, right? They would have already used all this stuff. That's why I'm not worried. That's why I'm willing to risk it for the biscuit. And now, if we send in and we try the flare and it doesn't work, we're not dead. We still have, they're out of cards if this is removal. And then we have a tap for one thing and we take at most 5 and we can still recover from there. So I am going to go for it, knowing that if it doesn't work, we're not dead. We're not straight dead. And there's no pausing here, so it seems like we've got it. Man, poor werewolves. The worst part of werewolves is how hopeful things look in the early game. Stuck on 4 mana by my own choice. I declined a bunch of lands here and there, so took that risk on as well. Already risking it with 16 lands, but I increased the risk by declining to keep lands. More rough mana. But with Sanctifier into Silversmith, I'm actually going to keep this. And with Oppo on the play, we may find an island in the first couple draws and at least be able to mend. And we can even pitch the Memory Deluge and cast that later. But we're going to keep. All right, we got our turn 2. We got our island by 2, so we'll go ahead and mend, probably pitching a Plains and the flashback card. Oppo on the curve out. Yikes. Three drop for turn 3 Coven. Gotta love that. That's gotta be incoming. No? I mean, it doesn't matter. They don't need to make a flyer to get through. Aye, Captain. Love that card. Great start from Oppo. Let's see if we can beat this. But it is an excellent start.
Not only am I your ship's captain, I am also your party captain. Woo! We're going to get it going here in just a few minutes.
I'm your party captain, too! And
And yeah, I'm going to play a Sanctifier and take 4. We'll put Island in the yard and keep a captain. On the draw. Once again, milling away a lot of lands. Might stuck on 4 again, but my own choices. So, captain after an attack doesn't quite get where we want. So yes, I'm on Silversmith. Get defensive here. Question is, do we attack with the Sanctifier? We got a 3-4, but they could tap it. If they spend their turn tapping our 3-4, though, we're kind of happy about that. So I'm going to, even though, yeah, it does make 2 blockers, I'm going to start the race. I'm going to race here. If they spend their turn trapping a Silversmith, I think that's great for us. Land doesn't hurt. Now we have, now I really kind of like swing both, drop 2 bodies, or drop this, see what we draw, and then either hold up Geistwave, Flare, or play a second body. And we can hold up 3 cards. So yeah, I'm gonna, again, continue the race here. Let's see what we draw. All right. Yeah, we could flip today. That's a great point. We play this, we get another Sanctifier activation. I'm going to do it. I think we got ahead on the race, and I'm going to 2-spell, flip it today. We go shields down, but with a better board than Oppo. And if we can... oh, cool. So we'll take Commando and throw this in the yard for Disturb. Oh, did I do that wrong? Oh, whoops, sorry. I misread the prompt. It didn't matter. We got got the win anyway, but free lessons for Ryan. Free lessons. Yeah, I'm keeping this on the strength of Commando backed by Flare, and frankly, Organ Hoarder waiting for our island is too good to pass up. I guess I need to main phase Commando so this doesn't flip. I mean, it doesn't flip. I mean, it doesn't go to nighttime. Nighttime, going to nighttime is good for the Astronomer. It doesn't flip. And yeah, generally with this deck, I'm willing to trade off. We're trying to trade off and generate long-term advantage. Veteran here, maybe slightly better than a bear because I can play it and faith it. I've just been comparing this to, as a benchmark to, would I rather have a grizzly bear card, a 2 for 2 in my colors, right? Oh, right, can't block, whatever. Just trying to use all my mana, but no, it's not going to be useful too. So I could trap it. I mean, we could go to trap mode here. But I wonder if we want to save this for something scarier than this. So I'm going to not worry about it for right now. What I'm worried about is we haven't found our island yet. Well, now we've got something to block if we want to. Do we want to block that? I mean, I could spend a flare and block this and kind of use a flare to effectively kind of counter Hungry for More, but not fully. Oh yeah, we're certainly blocking, only blocking if we're flaring. I'm just wondering if we want to flare here. This vampire doesn't sack. This self-sacks, yeah. It's only saving some life. So I'll say no. We'll pass again. We do need to find an island here, though, or that's going to be our downfall here. But island here, we get to Hoarder, and then we're probably in great shape. So one-time dealer. I'll use my one-time here. Plain flood, plain flood. So now I'm going to Candle Trap out of something. It still feels wrong to Candle Trap here, but It feels wrong to just continue to taking significant damage. I'm going to do it. Especially against black, where the downfalls of enchantment-based removal can really get you. Not that red-black can deal with enchantment specifically, but that red-black sacrifices for value. So Appa could go Swamp, Awakener, Sack Vandal, laugh at us, you know? Why attack? Why not? I'm not blocking this, so why not attack? I get they didn't. This was tapped. Yeah, I'm not sure why we wouldn't. There it is. You're a little late, Island, but we'll take you. Thank you. Look at this. Is this a good card? We can draw a card we can cast and then get double action in the yard. Seems fine. Could double block here, but I don't like... I would wait until we have the Faith ready at that point. So we're just going to take this. Mike says block. Oh, this is a pretty good curse just because it flips into a good creature. Don't worry, this veteran is so good, it's going to get us so much life that this doesn't matter. We just got to keep it from flipping to night too easily. And then keep enough back that we can flip it back to day. And with the Memory Deluge about to be recast, that's going to be fine. Yeah, Commando killing it, also fine. I forget sometimes this has Naturalize on it. Walking Naturalize is pretty good. Really is a Rexage plus, isn't it? Like, this makes Rexage seem weak, almost. Oh, the Rexage ETB destroys, right? So you get the destruction and keep the creature. Still, very good. And to that end, I think I'm on attack. Well... yeah, I'm on attack. I'm going to race this 2-3. We're not going to let it become night. Because we're going to cast another spell here. We'll just play the Angler. Yeah, they have an 0-3 blocker and they just took 3, Mike. I mean, I guess I could have left this back, if that's what you mean, but I figured I'd make him choose. I'm not blocking with it. And it's not going to die on attacks, so I tested. Because they might have blocked differently. They might have blocked the Hoarder. They might have said, look, I'm gonna let this thing die and save 3, in which case we get the 1. I didn't know how they were going to block. And if I'm not going to block on my side, I might as well put them to the test. So we can do... if I block and double... well, you could put this in the yard, but it doesn't actually kill this thing. So I'm just going to take 2 here. And then we'll... flash this in and kill this if they try to transform it by doing nothing. I actually kind of like that. It's case by case, Ranger, whether or not you want to chump with a candle trap. Like, do you have ways to unlock it? I mean, if you have no way to unlock it, then trade, might as well trade to save damage or something. But if you have a way to either get rid of the enchantment or sack for value, then if you can hold, I would hold. Sorry, let's get this turn finished here. A little aside there, but I thought there was a chance that by not doing this until end, maybe they try to make it night and don't do anything on their turn. They played a spell, as it turns out, but we're going to still take this thing out. I guess with Flare of Faith, we could have also said, let's do that on our turn, but I didn't want to take any more from that. All right, so now we got 7 mana. We can do this, but we probably don't want to do this yet. I'm going to play my 7th land because I do want to cast this eventually. And Sanctifier holding up Flare. And then do we have attacks we want to make? Yeah, again, we probably just attack with everything. Except now I'll hold the Veteran back with Flare. And then we can threaten a double block on the Vandal. But I like sending the other 2 here. You like only sending the 3/2? I mean, again, yes, they have the free block on this, but they've shown that they are not necessarily doing that. But maybe it's better to threaten the double block here and here. Yeah, yeah, but they didn't do it. They didn't do it last time. But I hear you. I'll just send the 3/2. But if I'm only because I'm potentially planning to block here. And I guess since they're going to do this mid-combat, I'll go ahead and flare it because it gets it'll be a let's check it though. So this becomes a 5/2, which if they block becomes a 2 for 2. Then we give up our Faith. Yeah, their Channeler is going to flip. We could just let this happen as well. And have it feel like that's not that big a deal. And then we save Flare for... yeah, I think we just let this happen, actually. This is okay. This is okay. Again, we have our long game winner right here. We just got to make sure... my worry is they play something in black that exiles this. Now we have Flare or Faithful if we wanted, but we're going to try to save sandbagged lands from here and Faithful away the lands. Good point. We can now exile the Vandal. Let's see what they want to do with this attack first. Yeah, so is it time to use the Flare? I'm going to say no. We can again take this, and we can instead use our mana on the Candle Trap exiling, and still have plenty of time to take hold of this game. This is not a situation where we need to block. All right, I'm gonna pull this before... I'll say that the veteran life gain is opening up some different lines of play, but it's not... If I didn't have this, I would just be adjusting my decisions to take into account less time. Holding the land again for the eventual mendings. In fact, could probably mend now and pitch a land and draw another land that we could pitch. So I could see risking the mending here over, because we might be able to cast something and it prevents the day-night cycle too. So let's start there. We did find 2 lands even to pitch to it. That's cool. And we even have Trapper hold up Flare still. Do we want to threaten here? Nah, I think we're going to stay on D here. Interesting deck, kind of werewolf spells. I like it. I mean, I like it in concept. Not sure I like anything with the word werewolves in it in this format, but you know what I mean. This is an instant, so we can just do this at the end of their turn and threaten trapping, threaten faithing, but probably just gonna cast this. And because there's, oh, it's 2 to the bottom, so we could just play the island at this point. Yeah, we don't want it to flip to night, though, right? So that's a good point. So maybe we just have to main phase this. It leaves us pretty, you know, we're shields down at that point. We could also attack in and use Flare given any opportunity. I'm gonna do this. Let's cast the Memory Deluge and see what we find. 2 into our hand and 5 lands to the bottom. Just gonna play this one. So 5, 6, 7, 7 lands, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's only 1 land left in the deck with 17 cards. Effectively. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. 1 land and 12 cards on the top. And then the bottom 5 are all lands. I'm reading now. Look, put 1 of them into your graveyard, Ryan. We'll put the Disturb card in the graveyard. And flyers can get it done here. 2 flyers, hold up, wave, and tap seems good. Although we can just do the 1 flyer here and then have multiple things up. Yeah, we do want to make it day again. Keep forgetting to manage that part of this game. So let's do that. So again, we're gaining a bunch of life, and it's making us feel more comfortable with our life situation, but it's so far actually hasn't changed that much about the game. Maybe gave me a little flexibility to open up the playbook a little wider for the last couple of turns. That's not nothing. I like Captain over Survivor. So we'll put the Survivor in the yard. But also, we would have had different lines to take if we had a more impactful creature on board than a 1/1. So that's also a counterpoint to the flexibility of the playbook. It both opened up some plays, and it also took away some plays by being a bad creature. by being bad power and toughness, I should say. Yeah, it was our 1-drop, and then we did nothing on 2. So we could have had a 2/2 for 2 instead of a 1/1 for 1, for example. Yeah, I like keeping up the flare too. They didn't even want to attack. They're trying to make it day and night again. We're gonna put the captain. Well, let's see. Now I gotta make sure we're not. Yeah, we know we got a bunch of lands there at the bottom. We can win before that. So let's put captain in the yard and horde. Oh yeah, I should have tapped. I'm sorry. That's just a missed value. Just a little distracted. A lot going on here. And probably going to 2-spell it again here. We go Hoarder and Angler, and then we have the two available again. Yeah, that's true. But Gasoline, that's true. With the deck being all gas, the Hoarder might not be as good as Captain even. But we do have Disturb, so we can still get extra value out of the Hoarder. Just so. How about draw 3? So those 2 for sure, and we could make a 1-mana captain, although 2 is just as good. 4 toughness is rough on the ground unless I start to remember to use my trapper. So I'm going to stick with the air right now. I could suicide in some things that become flyers, but we got flyers in the yard anyway. Decking is not impossible here, but I believe we have the tools to get there. We just have to execute. And adding to the... I like actually adding to the air more than anything else. Although this doesn't change the clock itself. Let's see, if we attack 3, 4, 5, 6, and then get him to 9, and we play... Oh, this is yeah, it's going to be close. With the flare, we can kind of put it on a 2-turn clock, with the shorten the clock, but I guess not really. So maybe the Angler wasn't the best play there, but I'm going to pass leaving mana up. Yep, that happens. How you doing, True? We'll keep the Revenge over the Wave. So we'll put Wave in the yard and keep the Revenge. Nice. I forget, True, is this your first little one, or is this a sibling? All right, I'm going to remember to tap now, and we want to tap the thing that gets to 4 toughness, since they're flipping to night, right? And yeah, so I'm going to tap the 4 toughness nighttime creature. Put the final land in our graveyard. So now we've got lots of good lines. We can send everything with 3 power on the ground. Probably just send the zombie at this point. We want to maximize the damage pressure here. So most everything's getting in if I can get it in. This, and let them eat this if they want. And heck, let them eat that if they want. I think it's time. Something about math being for blockers here. Question is, do we want to like revenge? Math is not just for blockers. Like if I could win the game here, yeah, let's stop here and actually think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're actually presenting lethal. So yeah, let's do some work here. We'll we can bounce, tap, and bounce. So we can get, yeah, we can just win. Let's win. Win target game, good. They have cards and mana, so it's not guaranteed, but this is looking pretty good. And probably want them to trade here. Actually, they're all going away, so it doesn't matter. What do we want them to recast? Probably the 3-drop. So I'll just do this. You say make him recast a 3/3. I just make him recast the most expensive thing, figuring this will flip soon enough. I know it comes back smaller, but I just didn't figure it was going to matter all that much. Which way do we want to exile? Yeah, Oppo's on mostly. Let's see if they can find a way. They got some lifelink out of the graveyard if they want to send in the 3/3. Are we dead? I don't think we're dead. That's a pretty tall order to get 14 out of this. Yeah, close. That was pretty good. So veteran helped in the plan there for sure. The question I'm not sure of is how it goes if that card is something else, because it just changed our options and changed how we approach the game. So certainly gave us some flexibility to get to that particular end game in that particular game. Well, we made it matter. My point is, you can't tell me definitively we lose that game if that's a 2/2 for 2 instead. Another chance for it to shine, and gives us a chance to. I mean, we don't have a 2. Oh, we do have the 2, so we can go 1, 2, 3, mega cheap captain. I like that, or captain on 3 if we want. We'll see. In any case, this is a keep. We don't know if we'll be able to attack with the veteran by the time we're looking to get this out. If we draw a land and our opponent's not doing much, there's an argument for going Sanctifier ahead of the captain. Because getting a captain for 1 mana on turn 4 is even better than running it out on 3. But if we don't find a land, it is what it is. Oh, me being lazy, honestly. Now it's the problem. See, darn it. Grody. We could Candle Trap so we don't lose our commando. But then we don't have the second mana, or we don't have another mana with which to cast the captain. But Mike is right. Mike is right. As hard as it is, we really need to. We can't not look for a land here. So Boo earns, but okay. It's just that we're getting 2 for 1. Like, they get to kill our commando for 2 mana and draw a card. Ouch. You're not high in the commando. I'm loving the commando, especially if I play it better and use the flash. But flash on blocks is real, and naturalized effects main deckable in best of 1 is real. Ugh. Well, we didn't find land, but all the more important to, if we weren't going to find it on top, glad we didn't draw this as our 4th draw. And, well, what does this flip to? Oh, no, it doesn't flip. They can disturb it back to be a decent flyer. But I'm at send in the clowns, make the offers. Try to win with our own card advantage cards over the long game. I should have dropped this first in case they wanted to eat the veteran. It just didn't feel like that was they were going to do, right? Or they wouldn't have been an eat. They would have... I didn't think they were going to trade for this. They were going to trade for the bigger creature. All right, sweet. Got ourselves some blue. This thing, obviously, a real problem that we're going to try and get exiled with a candle trap. We can't do that quite yet. But we can revenge and make a 2/2, and then we'll be able to candle trap exile next turn. And for this turn, we can at least send in the Sanctifier. And I'm going to do the bounce on their turn upkeep so that we get Sanctifier flip. One for the graveyard. We're going to keep the Hoarder, of course. Can't block, but they have sacked it. Oh, do I have to? Don't make me. Please don't make me. Fine. Yeah, I already screwed it up once. So this is going to go away. So we're going to attack with that. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate the sub. Congrats on the year. So we're going to swing that. Then we hoard organs and still setting up for the ability to candle trap well, where is it? I guess oh, they ditched it? No. Yeah, it's still in hand. They bottomed it. Oh, wow. That surprises me. They must need mana. Who bottoms that? All right, so we'll just go Hoarder then. Yeah, it must have been a mana thing. They just needed mana that badly. Another good draw. We keep being tight on mana because I keep declining to take it when offered. Now, we could sacrifice a zombie if we wanted to keep the Sanctifier around for another turn. It is a better attacker. Might be worth another turn of real 3/2 over fakey 2/2. I'm not going to mess around. Let's just get rid of this. It's fine. Well, we still have Coven with the Hoarder. But that's what you mean by sacking that, right? If we sack this, we don't have Coven. I gotcha. There's some land for us. We can trap and hoard. We can trap and exile. We can experience some memories. Where we at daytime, we could also just pass, let it flip. Oh, we've lost our Sanctifier, though, so that doesn't do its thing anymore. So what do we got coming? Secrets, a 2/2 flyer, and another Corpse Cobble. Yeah, I think you're right, Mike. We just keep attacking. They're at 12, we're at 22. We have another Hoarder behind. We have all sorts of action behind. Let's keep up the pressure and hope that pressure plus attrition victories leads to game victories. Hand will be the Drifter, and then we still get some value out of the Angler. And could trap to use all of our mana if that's where we really thought we were going to be trapping, but I'm going to say nah. Yeah, I like Candle Trap for the Geist here. Don't even need to necessarily... Well, I don't want to bounce it or anything. I guess they're in blue. But I think I'm on Hoarder. Let them trade off again, and then we make a flyer. Maybe they trade off in the air. Probably not. But I'm going to keep offering on the... Oh yeah, Graphkeeper tap 2 is also a good point. Could even do that now. If we do that now and play an Angler, we can tap down the Flyer at, well... Do we? We play the... Yeah. Well, let's see. So if we don't do that, then what's our plan this turn? I think we just want to get the Drifter going. Let's just send the Hoarder and see what they want to do. I don't care. Could even save it with Flare, but that's fine. And then I'm going to play the Drifter, and then hopefully they're going to be like, oh, well, we'll stay back on D, and then we can maybe do the Graphkeeper tap Flyer play next turn. Yeah, I like trying to get there in the air through taps now, and the extra planes is not the worst on that, because now we can Graphkeeper, Angler, and have Flare of Faith. Just Millhouse left and right. We could even mend, but we'll wait to get more lands for that and just stick with the plan. Hold up the Flare in case they go for power or damage-based removal. Not very common in blue-black, but there is that one power card. That's strong. That's going to get trapped, I think. This card is, you know, in some formats, 6 mana, 4/4 flyers aren't quite getting there. This one has really done great work against me. I've never had it yet, but it's real nice. What's your worried? What's your worry? I mean, we have Candle Trap, we have Coven, we can just exile it. And with the extra mana, we don't even need to play this out if I want to hold it for the mending, but we get 2 here, 4 here. So we can still tap and exile. I'm going to do that. Oh yeah, maybe I'm missing a win here that I should be looking more closely for. I've probably screwed it up by now. I'm gonna keep going with what I see. I'm not going to offer the Graph Keeper. Graph Keeper is doing too much work tapping down this flyer. And yeah, I'm going to hold the land. Yeah, maybe holding the land is silly. We might, like, I'm looking too far ahead given the current circumstances. I should be looking to make sure we put them away next turn. So, although holding this prevents against discard 2, so I'm going to hold it because of the discard 2 factor. So we can keep this flare safe. Because with flare, any of these flyers is lethal. Yeah, now we got game. Don't think there's anything for single black mana. You can let me know if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is... I mean, we could swing all. I don't think they can stop us for single black. So that's what I'm... Because I think we just win? I mean... That's why. I'm a little higher on veteran. I told you even as I was bashing on it that with chat being as high on it as they were, I must not be correct in my evaluation. And so almost even there, I came up on it a little bit. But I stand by my criticisms of it. I stand by that it is often not as impactful as you think it is, even when it's gaining a bunch of life. It's like the... life gain from that card reminds me a lot of the feeling of getting cards milled. It's like, yeah, it's annoying. Like, you see it and you're like, oh, value for opponent. I don't like it. But it doesn't really matter unless it impacts the game, which takes... It just doesn't happen a lot on that axis. So I still stand by that it feels worse than it is to have it active against you, because it's still, at the end of the day, a game of board control. Are we at 4-0 or 5-0? I can't remember. Did I adjust the record? I think we're at 5-0 now, right? So I can give you a profit. We're already at profit. Eh. First play on turn 3 is not anybody's favorite, but I can't throw this back with the good mana and the things to do. Top decking a 2-drop we want to play would be fantastic. That's the dream here, but I'm expecting to start on 3 of this game. Hey, thank you, Magic Gods. Much appreciated. We'll do that. Could probably attack. In fact, I'll attack. If they're gonna block, that would be amazing. We'll just use the flare. It telegraphs the flare, but it's damage, and we get to play the Sanctifier that they're not going to attack into anyway, unless they have removal or tricks of their own. Yeah, what is up with milling for no value? That seems weird. Again, seeing a lot of blue-black, which speaks to the concern I opened on, which is that the lack of ranking in pod making means that the best players are going to drift into blue-black, and there's going to be a lot of blue-black mirrors at the higher ranks of Premier. Now we have a 2-spell turn we could do, or a 1-spell. We got all instants, so I don't mind letting everything flip here. And just getting the extra value of Sanctifier and then deciding what to do on their turn. It means we don't have attacks here. We could send this and see what they want to do. If they block here, that's not the worst, and we can still let it go nighttime. But then they have, because if they block here, we're willing to flare, right? If they block here, we're willing to trade. That's what I'm thinking. And if we flare, we don't get nighttime, but we get a dead Scob. And if they just take it or trade, then we telegraph that we've got something. I'm gonna... Yeah, if we end up flaring, but we can't cast the Disturb because it's all too much. But if we trade, yes, if we trade, we could that. But if we trade, we could still let it be night, which is appealing. I'm going to do it. I'm going to send. Maybe my hemming and hawing makes them think they can block with their 2/3 okay. And they could think that I'm just trying to get this to the graveyard to get into the air. So I'm fine with all three possibilities here. Unblocked or blocked by either is all good, which is why I decided to attack. All right. I'm liking the veteran over a bear here because we get to put value in the yard. That's cool. Wow, they're not sending anything. I am gonna revenge the zombie lord. Could also just revenge the zombie, but I'm gonna do the lord. Yeah, maybe it's flip the switch. Let's see. Kind of got to do it if that's what they got, but then it does open up us to do whatever we want on our next turn. Play a disturb veteran and then hold up the instance. Looks like they're really thinking about it, whether they want to flip it or not. Just ponytail. And actually, I hope it is flipped because nothing that we're doing here is super important. The veteran and the tricks are kind of whatever, so... let me start with the veteran and see if they even counter this or whatever. Oh, never, and it taps that too. I forgot about that part. Nice. I mean, I meant to. I'm going to go ahead and take the 2 damage from the token as well. We don't have a lot of uses for tokens. Yeah, if it's a flash flyer, we got the tools for that. The thing I keep doing for value on accident in this format is casting the new Grave Titan, the common Grave Titan, and then getting flashback and morbid cards out of their graveyard and being like, yep, I totally knew that was part of what was going to happen this turn. I wasn't just counting on a 3/4 and 2 zombies. I also knew that I was going to take away value from their graveyard. It was not an accident at all. Shut up. You're not my mom. Well, too much value here. I'm going to go ahead and bounce their creature, deny them their card. They lose their draw. They need to replay their zombie. We get a second spell. It's all just too much value. Too much value! We can just trap and go, and with them at 9, I kind of like doing that. Then we get in for 6, and then they're at 3 with an empty board, and we got Flare. And it exiles. Yeah, that's not going to do it. We win on board as it is, so let's send in 1 blue mana. I guess there is the unsummon. There's the uncommon unsummon that could save them. But if they have the uncommon unsummon, we respond with Flare on the unbounced, unblocked creature and still win. So they don't have outs even with that one option here. Fading hope indeed, Oppo. Man, rolling today with white-blue. And that all-important gain one, right? Life gain didn't matter there, but the value add was important. You know, I think we were in good shape that game, but the veteran played a nice role there, both providing some graveyard value with our rummaging and our surveilling. More to the point, the surveil value there was there, and the coven value is also there. Yeah. I'm not gonna, like, there were calls of it being in contention for best white common. I'm not anywhere close to that. But I am certainly in, yeah, I'll run one of these in my, especially controlling decks. It seems very good if you're being controlling. Control, go long, grind out value. This looks nice. And on the play. More veteran experimentation. Looks real good here as part of a curve out. And this is nice because we can just drop our survivor and close our eyes and swing. It's like, what do you want to do? I don't care. What was pack one, pick one for this deck? Good question. I feel like it was a black card or something we didn't end up playing. Yeah, black one drop. Well, really weak packs early on. So they had to use, well, I could say premium removal, but not really. Although they could have gotten anything with it. They got a good card target out of that. We're going to go with the attack and hoarder here. well, not hyper value town in the sense of putting flashback or disturb in the yard, but 2 lands gone, draw action is pretty good. We're perpetually stuck on 4 because I won't take these lands in this spot. Oh, I'm very greedy. Greedy with my organs and greedy with my land. And happy to race. Although I'm kind of expecting that uncommon vamp to pick something off here. No? Alright, we got Flare of Faith. We've got this trades naturally. This is human. This is human. So we've got good attacks. And then a Sanctifier to follow. It's not blocking. Becomes block. Yep. Okay. So yeah, we're racing. Still racing. Yeah, it was a bit telegraphed, but it also looked like we were just trying to get in as much damage as possible, right? I'll throw away a creature to get you closer to 0. And now what do we want to do? Everything's still a trade, so we just send everything. Yes, they get the 3/2s for their 2/1s, but we get them to 5, and then we drop a Drifter. Could also...
Point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed is good.
Let's see. I'm sending them all. They get our 3s. We get action. We get follow-up action. It's all fine. Yeah, I'm too greedy for that. I'm gonna Drifter, and then they think it's important. That's funny. This looks great to me. Gotta be happy with Blade Brand on the Desperation Cycle. Can make an argument for not even playing this out. Both of these are lethal. I'm not sure what... I'm not up on my sweepers here. Yeah, especially with Revenge, where we can save one of our creatures if they go to kill. Let's do this. All right, cruise in like it's nothing. Veteran, definitely worth the include, and had some places where a bear would have been better, but overall it was better than a bear, for sure. So that's where I have it now. It's better than a bear, but it's not some monster top common, in my opinion. And yeah, actually, I don't have them plugged in yet, but Hat has some new celebratory memes we'll get in before too long here and incorporate into the mix. But for now...
Bender, honey, we love you.
Shut up, baby, I know it.
Shut up, baby. And another profit, sure. I would not have predicted this deck to be as dominating as it was. I mean, we really cleaned up with it. A couple games were maybe close, but mostly we were in control the whole time. And even if it was tight on the battlefield, it just looked like we had so much more behind than our opponent, that we knew we were going to win any long game. Yeah. We had the variance was on our side with this one as well, largely. Although we mulliganed a bit, we had some risky keeps of only one color of land available that ended up working out. I mean, I said where I landed, David, was better than a bear, but nowhere near the best white common. Yeah, there was lots to think about. There was certainly so much card advantage for us that we had a lot of decisions turn to turn. Yeah, Sanctifier surprised me there. Sanctifier was the more eye-opening performer of that run, I think, in that, especially again in this Disturb flashback deck where you can generate a lot of value in the graveyard. The Sanctifier provided and also really just the Surveil, right? I underrated it just as a scry. Underrated it. I've been thinking of it in terms of it producing value from the graveyard, and I still think you really don't want to prioritize that card unless you are getting Disturb value and flashback value. But the scry value of scrying away lands was quite valuable there and gave us a lot of our advantage that wasn't purely in card draw form. Exactly, Hat. I mean, I start out down on a 3/2 for 3. A 3/2 for 3 is born to die, and often born to die in combat against cheaper creatures. That's a problem. You can't win tons of Magic games trading down your 3-drops. So any 3/2 for 3 has an uphill battle to convince me that it's worth being excited about. They're also fine. I mean, even if I had no text on it, 3/2 vanilla for 3. Over what? Sometimes you're going to play that because you need 3-drops, you need creatures, and it's what you've got, right? So it's not the worst even in that case, but because it's a D level card, a 3/2 for 3 is like a D. So getting a 3/2 for 3 up to C level, it needs a full grade worth of text support, right? Text support, see what I did there? That's relevant as well. But in this case, the Sanctifier really showed me that it's got something going on. If you can do the day-night flip, and enough happens just incidentally, even in a game without werewolves in it, that we were getting some value out of it. So that was interesting. Yeah. We ran into at least 2, but I can actually look at my 17 lands and we can see. Yeah, I'm kind of curious if 17 land folks, if you're a 60+% drafter, if you're facing a lot of blue-black in Premier because of the floating upwards of the whoa, what caused that to happen? Just some of my crap fell over because I'm not a hoarder, but I'm on the spectrum. Okay, shut up. Exactly 2. We faced green, blue, red, green, mono, white, at least as we saw it, black, red, couple of blue, blacks late in the run, and then finished against red, black. Yep. And I don't hoard organs. I hoard collectibles and problems. Why do you keep that? I don't know. Because I have a problem. Yeah, you need a really good cooling system too, Raptor. I mean, a bunch of walk-in freezers.